In October of 2018, I made a video where I showed how to make a backup copy of your DVD and Blu-ray movies using two programs called MakeMKV and HandBrake. While that tutorial is still good, I've recently learned some things to help simplify and speed up the process. So let's show you how to do it. To make a backup copy of your DVD and Blu-ray movies, there are, of course, some things you're going to need. First of all, you must have a DVD or Blu-ray drive on your computer. If you have a Blu-ray drive, then you'll be able to copy both DVD and Blu-ray discs. If you only have a DVD drive, though, then you will only be able to copy DVDs. Just like in my other video, you're also going to need to download and install two different pieces of software, namely MakeMKV and HandBrake. I've placed the link to where you can download both of these in the video description. You can use MakeMKV for free as long as you have a valid beta key, which the maker of MakeMKV updates about every 2 months. I've included the link to the forum thread the new beta key is always posted to in the video description as well. When the current key expires, you have to go to the forum thread, copy the new beta key, launch MakeMKV, then click on Help up here at the top of the window, then register, and finally paste the key into this field here, and then click OK. MakeMKV will then restart, and you'll be good to go for another 2 months. You can also purchase a license for $50 US if you'd like to help support the developer, which I feel is a really respectable thing to do, especially if you copy a lot of movies. HandBrake, on the other hand, is a completely free open source video transcoding tool, so there's no key or anything like that you have to worry about. Once you have both MakeMKV and HandBrake installed to your computer, we need to go into Windows Explorer and navigate to the MakeMKV folder, which, if you install to the default location, will be located at C Program Files x86 MakeMKV. And you'll want to copy this .dll file right here called libaacs.dll. You'll then need to paste a copy of this file into the HandBrake folder. The default location for HandBrake is C Program Files HandBrake. You then need to right-click on this DLL file and rename it libaccs.dll. Next, you need to paste another copy of that same file into this same folder and rename it to libbdplus.dll. These DLL files contain the information that HandBrake is going to need to be able to decrypt and rip Blu-ray discs. To be able to decrypt and rip DVDs, there's another .dll file we need to copy to this same folder. But as far as I know, the best way to get this one is to go to the link I have placed in the video description and download it from videoland.org, who are the makers of VLC, which is a very popular open source video player. Anyway, we need to download libdvdcss-2.dll from them and copy it to the same directory as the other two DLL files. Once again, these files are important because without them, HandBrake can't access the disk to make our digital backup copy. Okay, with our DLL files in place, we can now put our DVD or Blu-ray disc into our drive and then launch HandBrake. Here, you'll click Open this DVD or Blu-ray drive. HandBrake will then scan in all the tracks on the disc and eventually drop you into the main menu here. The first thing you'll want to look at is the track that is going to be backed up. In the title field here, you can click on it and you'll see a list of the tracks on the disc. Some of these are trailers or additional scenes and whatnot, but you of course want to select the actual movie itself, which you can find by looking at the time code on the right. Now, sometimes you will only have a single track that contains the entire movie, but in this case, I have several different ones. This movie in particular also is in French and Spanish as well as English, and I just want to back up the English version. I kind of hate to admit it, but I don't know a good way to see which track is which. I've spent hours trying to find out a way to tell without any luck at all. On the bright side though, so far HandBrake has always chosen the English language version for me by default, so things have been working out good. If you know a way to find out which track is which, please let me know in the comments so I can pin it and let everyone else that watches this video know. Right now, I am backing up my copy of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which is 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 53 seconds long. And since I don't know which one is the English version, I'm just going to trust HandBrake has once again chosen it for me by default, and I'm going to select this track here. The next thing you'll want to look at is the transcoding options. Going through these tabs here, you can adjust all the options manually if you want, but I'm more than happy just using the presets in the drop-down menu here. My favorite one to use for Blu-rays is under General here, and it's this one, HQ 1080p 30 surround. Now we're going to take a look at how we can get this file encoded as fast as possible by leveraging our GPU's processing power rather than solely relying on our CPU to do all the transcoding work. You want to come up to the top of the HandBrake window and click on Tools, then Preferences, and then on Video. Here under Encoding, you want to select what type of GPU encoding you want to utilize. If you have an Intel processor with integrated graphics, this little checkbox to allow use of the Intel QuickSync encoders should be available for you to check. I have an AMD processor, so this option is not available to me. If you have an AMD Radeon GPU, then you'll want to check this second box to allow use of the AMD VCE encoders. And if you have an Nvidia graphics card like I do, then you'll want to check this box here that says allow use of the Nvidia NVENC encoders. We'll now go back to the main interface and click on the Video tab here, and in the Video Codec dropdown, we want to select either H.264 Nvidia NVENC or H.265 Nvidia NVENC. If you're not familiar with video codecs, basically they're just different ways of encoding video, and which one you use will depend on what codecs the video player you like to use supports. I like to use H.265 because it's a newer standard, but the downside to that is it isn't as widely supported as H.264. For example, the default video player in Windows 10, movies and TV, will not play a video encoded with H.265 unless you buy the HEVC video extension. VLC Media Player, which is open source and free to use on the other hand, does support it. Now it is only $1 for the extension for the Microsoft player, so I don't think you can really go wrong with either one of these codecs. They both output really good looking, high quality video in my opinion. With that done, we're ready to choose where we want to save the backup copy of our movie to, name it, and now we can click Start Encode. First, HandBrake will rip the disk. How fast this process goes depends on the speed of your DVD or Blu-ray drive. My drive typically takes 15 to 20 minutes to do this. Once the disk has been ripped, HandBrake will then begin the transcoding process. So in my old creating a digital backup copy of your DVDs and Blu-rays video, I used an Intel 4790K processor to do all my video encoding, and for a 1080p Blu-ray movie, it took about the length of that movie to transcode, meaning a 2-hour movie took about 2 hours to complete. When I upgraded to my current Ryzen 9 3900X processor, that time was cut down dramatically to about 1/3 the time. You know, I think that's partly due because the 3900X has 3 times the processing cores and threads of the 4790K. But as impressive and exciting as that is, it still doesn't compare with what using Nvidia NVENC is able to do. And I assume what AMD VCE and Intel QuickSync can also do. Using my RTX 2070 Super and the method that I outlined in this video, I was able to cut down the entire ripping and transcoding process for a nearly 2.5-hour Blu-ray movie into 50 minutes. Now, I know 50 minutes isn't exactly short, but compared to taking 20 minutes to rip a movie and then waiting another 1.5 to 2 hours for the movie to transcode, 50 minutes for the entire process is a massive improvement. And of course, if the movie that you're backing up is, shorter than, 2.5 hours, the transcoding process will also be shorter. So rather than 50 minutes, you might be looking at, 30 or 40 minutes. As for the video quality, I notice no difference from what I was doing before. So I'm very happy with the time savings that this method offers. Yes, it is a little complicated to get the DLL file stuff properly set up, but once you've got it done, you can simply use HandBrake to digitally back up your collection of movies and TV shows to your computer, Plex, or other home media server, all in one shot. So now's the time that most anybody that's left watching this video is going to close it and move on to something else. But even though I know almost no one is going to watch this, I'm still going to do all the customary YouTube stuff for those few super awesome people that watch all the way until the end. The stuff like saying, thanks for watching the video, click the like button if you did. I hope it was helpful and you're now as giddy as a schoolgirl, being able to back up your physical media much more quickly than before. You might not be able to tell right now, but I am. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments, or if you have a question for me, I'll do my best to answer any questions you have there. Please share this video with your friends and family members if they might find the video useful, and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. I also have an Amazon store, which I've placed a link to in the video description if you'd like to take your support of the channel to the next level. In my store, you can find all the different products I feature in my videos. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and perhaps I'll be seeing you in another video real soon. Well, technically, you'll be seeing me in the video because I obviously can't see you. I mean, right now, all I see is a camera. You could be just sitting in your underwear or naked, and I'd have no idea. All right, I better shut up and go. We'll talk to you later.